welcome to the fashion algorithm. You know how it is you want to stay on top of what's working in fashion e-commerce email marketing, but it feels like, well, the landscape is changing every single day. It can be kind of overwhelming trying to figure out what's actually going to move the needle.
That's exactly what we're diving into today for you. We're taking a close look at something truly transformative, how artificial intelligence is completely reshaping email marketing for fashion businesses.
And the source that's guiding our conversation today is a really insightful report. It's called The Personalization Revolution: How AI is Transforming Email Marketing in Fashion E-commerce. It digs deep into how AI is going, like way beyond simple personalization tactics to create email experiences that feel like they were made just for you.
Yeah, exactly. Our goal in this deep dive is really to pull out the most crucial insights from this report. We want you to understand exactly how AI is being used to build these ultra-tailored email interactions and ultimately how that's boosting customer engagement and driving sales.
Before we jump right in, though, a quick shout out to our sponsor. This episode of The Fashion Algorithm is brought to you by Cloutfit.ai. That's Cloutfit.ai. Ah, yes, Cloutfit.ai. What they do is really smart. They connect influencer outfits directly to your product inventory. So when you see an amazing look online, you can, instantly shop the pieces.
Makes it super easy for the customer.
Totally. It's a fantastic way to increase sales and get a higher average order value. So definitely check them out at Cloutfit.ai. Okay, so this personalization revolution the report talks about, it really highlights a big shift, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. For a long time, the standard approach in fashion email marketing was, well, pretty broad strokes, segmenting your audience based on basic things like age or maybe what categories they bought from before.
Right, the old way.
But your expectations as a customer have really changed. You're looking for something that feels much more individual, and that's where AI comes in as the real game changer.
So AI isn't just some tech buzzword here. It's the core tech making this individualized engagement actually possible. How does it, work its magic?
It all comes down to analyzing data, and AI is incredibly powerful at that. It can process huge amounts of information about you as an individual customer, your browsing history on a brand site,
Yeah.
what you've actually purchased, items you've added to your wish list, even products you've just spent some time looking at.
Wow, okay.
And it can also factor in your style preferences, the brands you seem to gravitate towards, and even things like your size information. By putting all these pieces together, AI develops a much, much deeper understanding of your unique tastes.
Which means instead of getting a generic email about some new collection that might not appeal to me at all, I could receive an email showcasing items that genuinely feel like they were selected specifically for my style.
Exactly. And a prime example of this in action is with product recommendations. The report details several really interesting ways AI is making these recommendations incredibly relevant to you.
Okay, let's get into some of these then. The report mentions suggesting complementary items. How might that play out in fashion emails for me?
Right. So imagine you've just bought a particular dress from a website. AI can look at the purchase patterns of other customers who bought that same dress, or even analyze stylistic pairings a fashion expert might suggest.
Uh-huh.
It could then identify items that are frequently bought together with that dress, perhaps a specific style of belt or a certain type of handbag. These complementary suggestions can then pop up in a follow-up email to you. It's kind of like having a virtual stylist suggesting the perfect finishing touches.
That's really helpful, actually. It's like getting personalized styling advice without even asking for it.
Yeah.
What about when brands want to encourage me to spend a bit more? How does AI handle upselling in a way that feels, natural?
Well, if you've been browsing, say, a mid-range leather jacket, AI can identify higher quality or more premium alternatives from brands you've shown an interest in or that have similar design aesthetics. The email you receive might then showcase these more luxurious options, maybe highlighting the superior craftsmanship or unique design details that might appeal to your specific taste. It's not just about pushing more expensive items randomly, it's about understanding your likely appreciation for quality or design within your style.
That's a really key distinction. It's about relevant elevation, not just a random price jump. The report also mentions suggesting items beyond my usual preferences. That sounds interesting, like it could be a way to discover new styles.
It is, yeah. This is where AI's ability to analyze data in really nuanced ways shines. If you consistently buy very minimalist monochrome clothing, the AI might notice you've spent a little extra time looking at a page featuring, say, a brightly colored scarf, or maybe a boldly patterned blouse.
Okay, a little hint of interest.
Exactly. An email might then gently introduce these items to you, perhaps framing them as a way to experiment with adding a pop of color or trying out a new trend. It's about subtly expanding your style horizons based on those glimmers of interest you've shown.
That's a much smarter approach than just, bombarding me with styles I've never even looked at. What other kinds of AI-driven recommendations might I see in my fashion emails?
Well, you might see suggestions for trending items that actually align with your individual style, complete outfit suggestions curated based on your overall profile, and even recommendations that directly reference your responses to style quizzes you might have taken on a brand's website.
Oh, that's clever. Using quiz data.
Right. It's all about making the suggestions feel personal and relevant to you right now, in that moment.
It really sounds like AI is aiming to understand me as a shopper on a much deeper level than just what I've bought in the past. And the report emphasizes that this deeper understanding has a real impact on the results for businesses, right?
Absolutely. When the recommendations feel this tailored, your purchasing journey becomes much more enjoyable and, frankly, efficient. You're more likely to discover items you'll genuinely love. This leads to an increase in the average order value because, hey, you might purchase those complementary items or be tempted by a higher quality suggestion. Conversion rates go up significantly because the suggestions are so aligned with your taste.
And loyalty.
And crucially, yes, it fosters a stronger connection with the brand, encouraging you to come back and purchase again because you feel understood and catered to.
The report also breaks down the different types of AI algorithms that actually power these recommendations. That's fascinating stuff. Can you give me a quick rundown of how these different approaches work?
Sure, one common approach is collaborative filtering. Think of it like this. Customers who have similar taste to you also like these items. So, if you frequently buy bohemian-style dresses, the AI might recommend a new arrival that has also been popular with other customers who have a similar purchase history in boho fashion.
Okay, so it's leveraging the wisdom of the crowd, but tailored specifically to my taste profile.
Got it. And
Yep.
what about content-based filtering? Content-based filtering focuses more on the characteristics of the products themselves. If you've bought several floral print tops in the past, this type of algorithm would recommend new arrivals of, say, floral print dresses or skirts because they share those key attributes, the floral print that you've shown a preference for.
Right. So collaborative is about similar people, and content-based is about similar products. And they're also hybrid approaches, I gather.
Exactly. Hybrid approaches try to combine the strengths of both methods to give you even more relevant suggestions. For instance, if you have a history of buying from sustainable brands, a hybrid approach might also look at the browsing behavior of other customers interested in eco-friendly clothing to fine-tune recommendations even further.
Clever. Combining both angles. And the report mentions deep learning as the most advanced type. What does that enable that the others don't?
Ugh, deep learning. It uses complex neural networks to analyze very intricate patterns in customer data and product features. This allows for incredibly nuanced recommendations. For example, it might be able to suggest a complete outfit, a top, bottom, shoes, and accessories based on your overall style profile.
A whole look.
A whole look, yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially even analyzing images of your past purchases, or if you've consented, maybe your social media activity to really understand your personal aesthetic.
That's incredible. It's moving beyond just recommending individual pieces to understanding and suggesting entire looks that might resonate with me. Now, the report also talks about how AI is changing the actual writing in these emails, this dynamic copywriting. How does that benefit me as a subscriber?
Well, AI algorithms can analyze vast amounts of marketing data to understand what kind of subject lines and email copy are most likely to grab your attention and resonate with you. This allows for tailoring the language used, personalizing the main text of the email to align with your specific preferences, and even adapting the tone and style of the email to what AI has learned about your likely preferences. AI can also generate compelling calls to action that are more likely to make you actually click through to the website.
Can you give me some specific examples of how this AI-driven copywriting might actually show up in my inbox?
Certainly. You might see product descriptions within the email that are specifically tailored to highlight features that AI knows are important to you based on your past behavior, maybe fabric type or sustainability features.
Ah, okay.
Subject lines might include your name or reference a previous purchase you made, like, still thinking about that sweater. Promotional text could be crafted to highlight benefits that are particularly relevant to your individual needs or preferences, maybe focusing on versatility if you tend to buy classic pieces.
So instead of a generic subject line like new arrivals, I might see something like, Sarah, new blazers we think you'll love.
Exactly. That feels much more personal and makes you more likely to actually open the email. The report also points out that this helps keep the email content fresh and relevant, which is crucial in the fast-paced world of fashion.
Yeah, trends change so fast.
Right. And AI can help brands connect with you on more of an emotional level by using language that taps into your personal desires for style, discovery, and self-expression. It makes the communication feel much more like a one-on-one conversation rather than just a mass marketing blast.
That makes perfect sense. It's about making the communication feel tailored and less, well, generic. Another really interesting area where AI is making a difference is in figuring out the best time to actually send these emails to me. Why is that so important?
Think about your own inbox, right? You're way more likely to engage with an email if it arrives when you're actually checking your email and have the time, maybe even the mindset, to browse. AI algorithms analyze past behavior when you typically open and click on emails from a particular brand to determine the optimal send time for you as an individual subscriber.
So instead of a brand just blasting out all their emails at, say, 9 a.m. Eastern to everyone, AI is figuring out the best moment to reach me specifically, maybe when I usually check my phone on my commute.
Precisely. AI considers factors like when you're most active online, your time zone, of course, and even broader demographic patterns to predict the ideal delivery window for each individual. The report mentions tools like Seventh Sense, MailChimp, Brevo. They offer this kind of AI-powered send time optimization.
Interesting.
This goes way beyond just general best practices like send on Tuesday mornings.
Yeah.
It provides truly individualized timing, significantly increasing the chances of you actually seeing and engaging with the email when it arrives.
Now, beyond just the words and the timing, AI is also enabling more personalized visual content in the emails I receive, right? The dynamic content stuff.
Yes, exactly. AI allows for the personalization of the visual elements you see based on your data. So, for example, instead of seeing a generic banner image, you might see a curated selection of product recommendations displayed visually, reflecting your recent browsing history or past purchases.
Ah, so if I was just looking at a particular style of shoe, that actual shoe might be right there in the email.
It very well could be, yeah, prominently featured. It can also include content based on what you've literally just viewed on the website, like still thinking about this. It can show weather appropriate clothing based on your current location.
Oh, like showing me coats if it's suddenly cold where I am.
Exactly. Or swimwear if there's a heat wave. It can also personalize dynamic offers and promotions, provide tailored styling advice, and even send notifications about items you've shown interest in coming back in stock.
Seeing things I've actually been looking at or things relevant to my weather right now definitely makes the email feel much more relevant and targeted, less like junk mail.
Absolutely. By providing a more tailored and engaging visual experience, this dynamic content is much more likely to capture your attention and encourage you to click through and maybe make a purchase.
Okay, another key area for fashion e-commerce is dealing with those abandoned shopping carts. We've all done it. How is AI making those follow-up emails more effective?
Right, the dreaded abandoned cart. AI enables highly personalized retargeting for those. This goes way beyond just a simple reminder of what you left behind. AI can suggest other products you might like based on what was in your cart and your browsing history, making the follow-up email even more compelling, like, maybe you'd prefer this instead.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just you forgot something. It's much smarter trying to keep me engaged.
Precisely. It can also dynamically include images and all the details of the specific items you left in your cart, making it super easy for you to pick up right where you left off.
That convenience factor is huge.
Definitely. And AI can even personalize the incentives offered, perhaps providing a small targeted discount or free shipping just for you to encourage you to complete the purchase. And just like with other emails, AI optimizes the send time for these abandoned cart reminders to maximize the chances of you seeing and acting on them.
So timing matters even for cart reminders.
It can, yeah. The report highlights examples like triggering different email sequences based on the value or type of items left behind, or even offering dynamic discounts that might increase slightly over time if you haven't completed your purchase. AI can also suggest alternative products if the items in your cart happen to go out of stock.
That's good, so you don't just lose the sale entirely.
Exactly. It ensures you still have relevant options. The overall goal is to make these abandoned cart emails as persuasive and relevant as possible to recover those potentially lost sales and revenue.
It really sounds like AI is turning what used to be a fairly basic automated email into a much more sophisticated and hopefully effective tool for recovering sales. And to make all of this even better, AI is also helping brands continuously improve their email campaigns through automated A/B testing. How does that work for the benefit of the emails I receive?
Right, A/B testing. AI can automate the process of testing different elements of the emails you receive to see what resonates best with you and other subscribers like you. This includes testing various subject lines to see which ones get the most opens,
Okay.
different versions of the body text to see what drives more clicks, different product descriptions, call to action buttons with varied wording, design, and placement, even different images or layouts.
So brands can essentially try out a few different versions of an email, maybe send version A to some people and version B to others, and the AI figures out which one I and people like me respond to most positively.
Exactly that. AI helps facilitate the creation of these different versions and then analyzes the results based on key metrics like open rates, click-through rates, and conversions to identify which elements are most effective.
Makes sense.
This allows brands to continuously refine their email marketing based on real-world data of what actually works best with their specific audience segments. The report mentions tools like Claveo AI and Dynamic Yield as examples of platforms offering this capability. Ultimately, it leads to better and more engaging emails for you over time.
That's incredibly valuable for brands, clearly, and it means I should, in theory, be receiving increasingly effective and relevant emails over time as they learn what I respond to best. Now, all of this sounds fantastic in theory, but what kind of real-world impact is AI actually having on the performance of fashion e-commerce businesses? The report shares some pretty impressive statistics, doesn't it?
It really does. The numbers are quite compelling. Fashion retailers that are actively using AI personalization in their email marketing have reported a significant 41% increase on average in the revenue generated directly from those emails.
41%, yeah.
Yeah, and personalized emails have also been shown to have transaction rates that are 6 times higher compared to emails that aren't personalized.
6 times.
It's a huge difference. We're also seeing an average of a 41% improvement in email open rates and an overall 30% higher return on investment for e-commerce businesses generally from their AI-driven campaigns. These numbers really highlight the tangible benefits of implementing this technology.
Those are some really, really compelling figures. The report also includes some specific case study results, which I find always illustrate the impact in a very practical way.
Absolutely. Real-world examples hit home. One footwear e-commerce company, for instance, saw an 11% increase in their email open rate and a pretty solid 16% boost in their conversion rate simply by implementing personalized email automation.
Just from personalization.
Exactly. Another fashion brand experienced a dramatic 30.9% increase in revenue per email sent and a 30.7% increase in orders per email by leveraging AI to optimize and personalize their email program, even while reducing how many emails they sent overall.
Wow, so better results with fewer emails. That's impressive. Those are some serious and measurable improvements. And the report even highlights some specific recognizable brands that have seen significant success by incorporating AI into their email marketing strategies.
Yes, it names quite a few. Brands like Birdies, the footwear company we just mentioned, also Draper James, the clothing brand, River Island, Land's End, and even a larger unnamed American lifestyle brand have all successfully implemented AI to personalize their email marketing efforts.
So big names are seeing results.
Definitely. They have reported significant increases across the board in their open rates, conversion rates, revenue per email, website visits driven by email, and the overall demand generated from their email campaigns. It's clear that AI is providing a real competitive advantage for these businesses that are adopting it.
It really seems clear that AI isn't just some futuristic idea anymore. It's delivering very real and significant results for fashion e-commerce businesses right now. But it can't all be smooth sailing, right?
Mhm.
Are there challenges or things businesses need to consider when implementing this?
That's a great point. The report does acknowledge the challenges. A major one is data privacy and compliance. You have to be really careful with customer data and adhere strictly to regulations like GDPR and CCPA.
Absolutely critical.
Then there's maintaining brand consistency. If AI is generating copy or selecting images, you need guardrails to ensure it always sounds and looks like your brand.
Right, keeping that unique voice.
Data quality and integration are also huge. AI is only as good as the data it's fed, so having clean, well-integrated data is essential, which can be a technical hurdle.
Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Pretty much. And there's the balance between automation and the human touch. You don't want emails to feel too robotic. Sometimes a bit of human oversight or curation is still needed.
Yeah, finding that sweet spot.
And finally, the potential for algorithmic bias is a real concern. AI models can inadvertently perpetuate biases present in the data, so businesses need to be vigilant about monitoring and mitigating that.
Those are definitely important considerations. So bringing it all together, what would you say is the main takeaway for me as someone who receives these marketing emails? What does this all mean for my experience?
I think the key takeaway for you is that AI is fundamentally changing how fashion e-commerce businesses communicate. It's moving away from those generic one-size-fits-all emails towards a future where the emails you receive are much, much more likely to be relevant, engaging, and genuinely helpful because they're tailored to your individual tastes and preferences.
So hopefully less inbox clutter and more emails I actually want to open.
That's the goal. It should lead to a better overall shopping experience for you, feeling more understood and less marketed at.
We've seen how AI is being applied to so many different aspects of email marketing, from suggesting products I might actually want to optimizing when they land in my inbox, even tailoring the language and visuals. It's a really comprehensive shift. And the report also touches briefly on where this might be heading in the future.
It does, yeah. The future of personalized email marketing looks even more advanced. We're likely to see trends like hyper-personalization, where AI might anticipate your needs even before you actively express them based on subtle signals.
Whoa, predicting what I want.
Kind of, yeah. Predictive AI might forecast your future purchasing behavior to offer even more timely and relevant recommendations. And generative AI, which we hear so much about now, could potentially automate the creation of highly personalized and on-brand content at scale, writing unique descriptions or even generating unique images for emails.
It really feels like for fashion e-commerce businesses to truly connect with their customers in a meaningful way, and frankly, just to stay ahead of the competition, embracing AI in their email marketing strategies is becoming less of a nice-to-have and more of a necessity.
Precisely. It's really becoming table stakes. It's
Yeah.
all about creating a more valuable and relevant experience for each individual customer, which, at the end of the day, benefits both the customer and the business.
So to quickly recap for everyone listening, the big picture is that AI is a major game changer in fashion e-commerce email marketing. It's leading to emails that are way more personalized, more engaging, and ultimately drive better results for businesses while providing a genuinely better experience for you, the shopper.
Well summarized.
Now, for a final thought to kind of chew on. As AI gets even better and better at understanding your individual fashion preferences, maybe even anticipating your needs before you know them yourself, how might that change your relationship with your favorite brands?
Interesting question.
Could it lead to a more seamless, almost intuitive shopping experience where the brand just gets you? Or, are there potential downsides or ethical lines to consider as marketing becomes increasingly, maybe uncannily personalized? It's definitely something interesting to think about.
Indeed. It raises some fascinating questions about the evolving landscape of retail, personalization, and maybe even our own sense of discovery versus being perfectly catered to.
Absolutely. If you found this deep dive into how AI is transforming fashion, e-commerce, email marketing insightful, please do share it with anyone you know who's interested in the future of the fashion industry or e-commerce in general.
Yeah, spread the word.
And make sure you subscribe to the Fashion Algorithm wherever you get your podcasts for more in-depth explorations of the technology shaping the fashion world. A big thank you again to our sponsor, Cloutfit.ai. Remember to visit cloutfit.ai, that's CLOUTFIT.ai, to learn more about how they can help connect influencer outfits directly to your product inventory.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to this episode of the Fashion Algorithm.